this. Zeke, Evan, gentlemen, well done. Well done. First and foremost, you absolutely crushed it. I was just listening back to the call that we had back in November, right? I think it was November time.
Oh,
And
really?
I remember you telling me, you were saying like, if we get into this, man, I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna make sure that I absolutely crush it. I want to be top tier, and you've done it.
No.
So
Yeah,
I
serious.
wanna
I'm serious.
I wanna hand kind of the reins of the conversation over to both of you. Perhaps you can give like a little bit of an introduction about who you are, your background, what it is you're doing at the moment, things along those lines. Take it away.
All right. Yeah. So I'm Evan. This is my partner Zeke. We're both 18. Still in high school. I finished class like a month ago. He's still going to class. He's doing finals this week. But pretty much we went to 0 to 10 grand a month in 3 months. With the help of EasyGrow, and yeah, it's been very crazy. Obviously I'll let you lead the conversation because there's a lot of ways this can go. But there's a lot to say, obviously. So
Of
kind of take it
course.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm Zeke. I'm 18, still in high school, making 10 grand a month. It's absolutely crazy. So I can't even thank EasyGrow enough, honestly. I mean, it's like, um, yeah, it's actually just crazy. Like, I mean, 18 in high school, it's ridiculous. So
Beautiful. I love to say it. Well, look, I want to take this all the way back. I want to take it all the way back before we even had a call together. And if I
Okay.
remember correctly, you were running the business for a little bit of time. I think like 5 months, 4 or 5 months before you actually came on board with us. Can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about what that was like trying to build an agency on your own, some of the struggles you had, etc.?
Yeah, so I won't get into the specifics about what stuff, but I was in like certain programs and other stuff in the past, and none of it really worked out for me, right? So I was just kind of a bit lost, and I was kind of like trying to. I was on like a YouTube safari of sorts, looking through everything possible to go through, and there was this man with a buzz cut, and he was just he with no thumbnails, and I was like, who is this guy? And his name is Charlie Morgan. He's a very interesting individual, I'm sure you know. But basically what I realized is so many people, some of these courses and other stuff we did in the past, we were kind of going through all this stuff and they would just kind of tell you very generalized stuff. And I don't know, they teach you kind of, they try to give you something that works. A lot of times it's outdated, but the other thing is they don't teach you like foundations of what to build at. So what Charlie really does differently from everyone else is he tells you like the person you have to become to build that back up. So even if I didn't know the technical stuff that EasyGrow supplies us with, it's kind of like the stuff they kind of build like the foundation of you as a person. You could kind of build back up from scratch and anything. And before I joined EasyGrow, I was kind of under the impression it's like, okay, I just need to find the right niche. I need to find the right copy, the right this or the right that. But now it's kind of like very apparent to me that's like kind of like the person you are is kind of like what determines everything. So it's just kind of like it makes it so it's not even EasyGo even helps beyond the agency. It kind of like it helps you with like really any area of life. It's kind of like understanding things on a deeper level and building yourself up from scratch.
Nice, nice. And Zeke,
yeah,
your
yeah.
thoughts were on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So before, me and Evan, we were just kind of like doing whatever we could. We were scrambling, going on, I don't know, Safari, YouTube, trying to find like the new strategy or whatever they always tell you, but it never really worked. And I never realized it, but it was all the cause of just bad paradigms and how my mindset was, how my habits were, and all that. So once I joined Easy Girl, like I literally changed my whole entire life, switched everything, and it literally like just skyrocketed my business, changed it. We were making $0 a month, and now we're making 10K a month. So it's actually, yeah, it's just crazy insane. So I mean, I can't, um yeah, I mean, it was just, I've literally changed my whole mindset. Like that's the main point. It's like 90% mindset, 10% work. So that's what definitely Charlie goes into. And I never realized how important it was because I thought it was just like work, like, oh, you just got to do more. But like, that's not even like the case. It's just like how you switch your mindset, and then that'll just basically play out your work. It's just crazy. So
Beautiful. I want to dive into this mindset piece a little bit later on in the call. But just to loop back to what both of you are saying, to be honest, and this has been my experience as well going through other courses, obviously not going to name names, but it's not that it's not useful, right? Like they'll give you a foundational understanding of you need to pick out a niche, you need to have an offer in place. But beyond that, it's not detailed enough. And I think one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that we do really well is the level of detail we go into. If you put in the work, you cannot fail. You literally can't fail. Okay, let's progress this then a little bit to the actual sales call. The first time that I spoke to you both,
Yeah.
um, I think I remember, ironically, I think I remember one of you saying to me on the call that you wanted to wait until February to get,
I take the blame,
yeah,
yeah.
you wanted to wait until February to get started. And I was like, absolutely not. There's no way that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you get started now, by the time you get to February, you'll be making like at least 6K, 7K.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so the story behind that is basically, so I was kind of working. So I was at school 40 hours a week and working 40 hours a week to save up for the program. But I basically heard somewhere else that's like an upfront 10K, 12 grand or whatever. But basically, I don't know if it changed or wasn't that. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the details. But essentially, I was under the impression I had to have this money saved up and I didn't have the full money. So when I signed on to the EasyGo, there was a payment plan, but I didn't even have like, I didn't have enough to pay for the whole thing. But I was like, you know what? Like, you convinced me well. But basically, when I was on the call, I was like, I was in school until basically February. So I'm like, you know, I'll start it when I'm out of school. And I when I scheduled the call in, I was like, okay, I'm not buying. I just want to hear what they have to say, but I'll like come back in like February. But obviously, you have your sales magic, so you definitely got me on, which is a good, very good. So yeah, basically we hit so February was the month that we got 10 grand in, but basically like December, January, like if we didn't spend the whole like of those months like building up everything we needed, yeah, we wouldn't have like if I joined in February, like it'd still be I'd be like way, way, way behind, right? So yeah, it's definitely good to join.
so let's kind of talk about the emotions that you had on the call. Like, what were you nervous about it? Were you amped up? Were you already 100% sold into this? You just knew it was the right thing for you. Like, how did both of you feel?
Yeah, so it's just kind of like it just seemed a bit almost on too good to be true type of thing. Because I was just like, okay, this guy's telling me he's gonna get me to my goals, and it's like some guy on the internet I've never met. The camera's off, and then it's also like, I mean, I like Charlie, like I knew him for a while, and I was watching all the videos, but I was just like, okay, well, I've been in programs in the past, and how do I know this isn't just like another like give me money and then like get screwed over situation, right? So I was just kind of like, this is almost too good to be true. But then I joined, and then I realized like really, if you just go through the whole thing and do the work and actually use the resources, like you actually will get there. And it's so crazy because I was just under the belief that I guess before I joined EasyGo, I was kind of under the belief the people who succeed in SMA are just like the people who get lucky, and then the people who don't succeed are the people who are unlucky. But now, like after joining EasyGo, like I don't have that belief at all. Like it's just very clear to me. It's like this thing: you either do the right things or you don't. And that, yeah, that's kind of I guess where I was at.
Okay. And how were you feeling on the call, Zeke?
Yeah, with me it was like so funny enough, I was on one of these calls like a few months before. Um I was on one of these calls and I put down like $100 deposit to like keep like the lower price or whatever. And I was like, whatever. So I just got the money back because I was like, that's just like way too much money. I don't even have like my parents definitely aren't going to give me money and all that. And so then a few months later, like me and Evan are already, starting to become like better friends, better business partners. And it comes to a point, he's like, yo, I'm joining the Imperium. The Imperium called. You want to just join it with me and see what it's all about? And I'm like, sure, I guess I'll join it again to see. I was just like, just another normal day for me. And then we ended up purchasing it. And it's like, it's been like, it's just been crazy. It's been from, yeah, I don't know. It's just insane how it changed my life in literally one day. So
Yeah, let's talk about this because I feel like it's really important, right? Because for me, obviously, I'm highly convicted in the product because I know it does this. Like I know that it does this. And when I was on the call to you, and I was like, guys, I don't care about the fact that you're 18, right? You've got the right work ethic for this. Like I know that if we do this, you're gonna be successful. I mean it when I say, like genuinely, in the space of 3 months, you can get to 6K per month. What were you thinking in your head? Were you just thinking, Jack, you're talking absolute crap? Like you're just lying to me to try and take my money. What was going through your head at that point?
Yeah, I don't know because the whole thing. So I don't know what was the whole backstory behind this, but we were supposed to get on the call, and it was like you were like didn't join. Then like 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, okay, join now. And then I had to like call Zeke. I called him like 8 times, and like he finally answered. I was like, okay, we're joining the call now. I'm like, okay, we join it. And then you're like, the camera isn't working, and the Wi-Fi just went out, and it's just like the whole thing. I was like, what's even going on? And then you were like, oh, like I'm gonna get you to your goals. I mean, yeah, it did seem like very like out there. I was just like, well, is that even like possible and all this stuff? Like I was just kind of like I was very skeptical, and I was just trying to like see that confirmation. Like I even like texted one of the people who's in like an admin in the community, but basically he had like a YouTube channel about because he joined EasyGrow and then got I think ended up getting hired. And I was texting him like a couple months before I even came to the sales calls. Like, is this like legit? Like I don't know. It was very hard for me to believe that it worked just because like I got burned so many times in the past that I was just like I just had like so many fears and like I don't know if they were irrational or whatever. But I was just kind of like, I was just so scared of burning my money. But it was just like, you were super convicted with it, and I was just like, I just knew that I wouldn't be able to like sleep at night if I just like didn't at least give it a shot, because you were just like saying you're gonna get me there, and I'm like, okay, well, what if if he could get me there and I just didn't even try? So I'm like, whatever, like worst case scenario, like I'll lose some money, but I need to go through this and see what happens. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I was definitely like a little worried. Probably not as worried as Evan, because I know he had the cash to put the money into it. I didn't. I was like, I'd like, I don't know, a few $100s in my bank account. So it was like definitely risky, but I was like, oh, I mean, I guess Evan's like paying for it. I mean, I hope we should be fine. And I don't know, I was worried. There was like slight belief that I could hit the goal. We ended up hitting up, but it's just like I don't know. It was crazy. I mean, I was definitely scared a bit, but once it comes to just putting in the work, it's like crazy the results you can get. And then after the call, I'm like, dang, like we just put all that money down. Like shit, I better get my stuff figured out. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like in the red with money. I'm not going to college, so I better figure it out. So we did. But
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, the craziest story is I was like basically like I got the money, like, so it was like by the third payment I wouldn't have money to afford it, and I pretty much like I think like a week or two before like the payment came is like when I like made the money back. So it's like it was like right on the edge, and I had to like talk to support a bit about billing. But I mean the whole EasyGrow team is very like helpful, and they're really there for you. That's another big difference, is like the community is very like alive, and they actually, I feel like they care about the clients compared to like these other communities. I feel like they have like thousands of members that just haven't talked in like years, and it's like an easy the only people in there are the people who are like actually like really doing it, because like you have to, it's on a monthly basis or whatever.
Okay, cool. When was the moment that you guys realized this is not like what we've done in the past? Like this is not like a course that I've done before. When did that moment
mm,
kind of click?
For me, it was like
yeah,
watching, like I kind of realized before I joined it that it's like separate because of like Charlie's content on YouTube, because everyone else was kind of like, I don't know, like it was very like it'd be like highly edited, and there'll be like all these graphics and like all this like stuff going on. But Charlie would just like sit there and just like there's no edits, there's no anything, there's no like no retention strategies, there's no thumbnail. It's literally just a guy sitting in front of a whiteboard for like 2 hours ranting about some like philosophical topic. And I was just like, I've never seen anyone like dive into topics the way this guy dives into things. So when you join the program, it's like instead of like a 5 minute video of like, oh, here's this, and you move on to the next thing. It's like there's like 3 hour videos of like theoretical subjects and like stuff that isn't like the way it's just broken down. It's like he kind of like takes things and like applies it to client acquisition that doesn't even like, it's not even like a thing on its own, but he like made it a thing, and it's like almost like he like developed like a whole science around it. It's just the way he approaches things. It's like so much more like analytical, and it's basically like I feel like there's a lot of emotion involved with like trying to get this started, and you're like, oh my gosh, like is this gonna work or whatever. But the way Charlie like helps you think when you join it is kind of like you know what exactly what the problem is, so you know what you need to be working on. Like before I joined, I didn't know what the thing I had to be working on to fix my problem is, but after joining, it's like, okay, I have a problem. I know exactly where the problem is, and I know where to go to fix it. So, yeah.
yeah. For me, it was it was definitely like the price. I'm like, dang, it's that much. I mean, it probably is like insanely good then. And then right when I joined the course, there was like just so many modules, like 10 plus, like I mean, it's like I can't even count the videos. It's actually like crazy. And then they go in depth like 2 3 hours long. I mean, it's not like any bull crap that's like 10 15 minute videos for everything, and then like there you go, like go do it. Like they definitely give you everything you need. Like you actually can't fail if you just do everything they say, actually apply it, like, and just put in the work. You can't fail. It's literally impossible. So
Okay, beautiful. One of the things that you were talking about not too long ago was obviously the mindset side of things, right? And I always love asking this question. And for you guys, it really hasn't been long at all. Like it's literally been 90 days. But if you look at the version of yourselves 3 months ago versus the versions of yourselves now, what differences do you see between who you were and who you are right now?
Yeah. So I think just all the people like succeeding or 10 grand a month, like I put everything on a pedestal, and like that's like I'm here, and then this is like up here, and I'm always looking up to it, and like I'm just not like almost like you almost feel like you're not good enough for it. Like is this even realistic? Like you kind of always feel like, oh, like maybe I'm just like being unrealistic. I should get back in my place. Like I don't deserve that much money. Like all this stuff. But I mean, Charlie really helps you like understand that, like kind of level yourself out with it. Like you don't pedestalize these things that used to be like so like mystical to you. Kind of like actually to see things on a more like technical level, and just you get, I don't know, you don't feel like it's just like you can't reach it. You just kind of feel like you can.
Yeah. Yeah, like before I would always I'd always be on Instagram like scrolling through reels and like just imagining myself like I don't know, having all like this nice stuff and like people are like always talking about, oh, I just hit 10K a month in this business that or whatever. And I would be kind of like hopping different like online businesses and it like never worked out. And then I just kind of like came to the realization that I was putting everything that like I thought was like insane, like on such a high pedestal, like that, like I couldn't get it or something, or that you had to be like lucky or I don't know. So that's kind of how I just changed from like a whole perspective that like I couldn't get that stuff or it would take me a really long time if I even wanted to get it. But like it's actually so much closer than you think if you just like believe that you can get it because
Yeah,
your actions will play that out. It's crazy.
yeah, it's so true. It's so, so true. And when you start lifting the limiter off of your beliefs and you start looking at things and being like honest, and this is obviously going to be crazy to like the people who are watching at home or like watching on YouTube or whatever. Like when you start realizing that making 10K per month is not the craziest amount of money, it just opens so many doors for you. Because I'm sure now for you guys, I remember again from the call, I think the original goal was to get to 20K by December 2024. Is that still
Yeah.
the case? Or
No,
Well,
it's like
well,
50K
we're
now.
trying to we're trying to hit 20K this month of in March. So
yeah,
yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is. Yeah, in addition to this
50
and that.
50K plus 50K plus December, like no doubt. But yeah,
Yeah, we're
10K
trying to
is
be
not a
seven
lot of
figures.
money. 10K
Yeah,
is
we're
not a
trying to be
lot
like
of
seven
money, to be
figures
honest.
early next year. So yeah.
what do your friends think about this? What does your family think about this? Because that must have been really interesting for you guys, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zeke,
friends.
yeah.
I mean, I guess like real friends, like my close real friends like support me and stuff like that. I don't really talk much about it, but like I guess like the acquaintances at school, I don't know, they're a little I don't know, they're kind of sucking up and stuff. I mean, I definitely notice it. It's kind of weird, but family, um it was like they thought I was like delusional, which I mean I was, but you have to be insanely delusional to win. Like it actually works. Like if you just it's so much like if you say, no, I'm gonna hit 10K in a month rather than say, no, it's gonna take me a year to hit 10K, like it's better to be delusional and say I'm gonna hit it in a month and then hit it in 3 months than not be delusional and say I'm gonna do it in a year, but it takes you like 2 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, they just thought I was absolutely crazy, like all my dreams and stuff. They didn't believe me. They said, "Oh, it's not going to work out." All this stuff. So it's like,
And
I
okay,
proved.
to stop you, because that's a really big thing, right? And I think one of the other fantastic things about the product is you're just surrounded by people who have that mindset of I'm gonna win, like I'm
Yeah,
just going to succeed. How was that for you? Obviously in the community you've got that, but in your personal lives, having people around you who perhaps don't have that same level of vision that you do for what can be accomplished in life, how did you tackle that?
yeah. It's just it's definitely hard. I mean, and you just kind of gotta ignore it. Like see yourself as don't see yourself because everybody around you is like the same. It's crazy, but you just can't see yourself as like a bot. You just gotta basically see yourself as just like someone who's like already has the money. Just like I just walked like in school with confidence that I had like 25K in my bank account, just like every single month it's just like coming in. Just like you just gotta walk with confidence and then drown out everybody else that just says crap to you. Um but yeah, I mean it's definitely hard. I mean, I'm still in school and like mindset is like school is like it's I don't know, like even today it's sometimes just so bad for mindset. So but yeah, you just gotta drown it out and just ignore it.
Okay, guys, what is the plan now? Because obviously Evan, you finished school. Zeke, you're about to finish school. One of the things that you told me is, Jack, I really don't want to go to college. Like, is college on the cards, or is that just is never?
No,
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 so
never
basically,
coming. No.
yeah, no. So we pretty much in the last week, actually, like yesterday, both me and Zeke ordered a laptop, and essentially he bought ticket. Like we have never met in person, so he actually has a ticket to come see me. He's coming next Tuesday, which is 8 days from now. So he's gonna be here in like a week. We're pretty much like gonna be together, and then like from there we kind of want to start traveling and meeting some people. Like the community EasyGrow, just great, full of great people. And then yeah, it's just like I've been working also one-on-one with Eric and just talking to other people in there. Like everyone I met in there is just so nice, and they support you in the coaching calls in EasyGrow too as well. You just get really connected in. So it's like yeah, we're gonna kind of meet up in person, start traveling around, meeting with other people in the space. But it just feels like it's very good to have like kind of like somewhere to go, right? Because a lot of people want to go to like college, and that's how they kind of like meet people. But I don't know, I was never interested in the whole college path for many reasons. But yeah.
Well done. Like, honestly, guys, well done. Because everything that you told me on the call, you've made happen. Like, that's another thing you were saying. I want to get to the point where I don't have to go to college, can start traveling around. Like, we're literally 90 days later, and you've made that happen. It's incredible. Okay, this is a really cheap question, but I have to ask it. Do you feel like you would have been able to accomplish this without having mentorship, without having support, without having EasyGrow in place?
No, so
Definitely.
literally the coaching calls,
I think, yeah, you're
basically the
sorry,
program
you're
was like
saying.
itself is really good. The program itself is really good, but then the coaching calls I think is the biggest thing, right? Because it's like constantly updating, and it's like EasyGrow. It's like I remember joining, and I was having a problem with like one thing, and then like 2 days later, like a video, like 7 modules on that was added. So it's literally like every month we're adding like videos and constantly updating everything and deleting things that don't work, adding things that do. And then I got to literally talking to the coach, some of the coaches, and talking to Charlie himself. Actually, like one thing he told me actually like made me go from like from 0 to like 9 grand in like 2 weeks. If Charlie didn't help me with this one thing, I don't think I would have been able to do that. And just talking to him for like 2 minutes really like can change everything. So just getting that perspective from someone who's like kind of at the end of the tunnel is definitely very helpful. So just being around that is like, yeah, it's very crucial for success.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I would definitely be here right now because if I didn't join it, I could have probably took like the next like 10 years like spinning my head and then maybe getting to like the point I want to get to. But yeah, if I didn't join the course, I definitely probably would have given up, or it would have took me like very, very long. And also when you join the course too, it's like you get like it's almost like the whole thing is like almost like a mentorship. It's kind of crazy, but you just get everybody's perspective on like how to like make money and how to be successful, and they just like apply it to you, and then you just start to like that starts to influence your life, and it's just like crazy. I mean, I can't even explain it. So
Okay, cool. I think probably last question from me then is you guys to an extent were on the fence. Like I think you were probably more 70-30, 70% leaning towards doing it and 30% not doing it. If you were to have a conversation with somebody who is in that same position as you, you're concerned about the finances, whether you're going to be able to make it work, is this the right thing? Is this the right time? What would you say to them?
Yeah. So the only thing is like for me, it's like the testimonials and everything was a big part of it, and just seeing it like it's almost hard to believe it's like real people. But you got to keep in mind like when you're trying to like succeed in this, like you feel like you're like alone, like very lonely because no one around you is like trying to do the same thing. But when you join, everyone's kind of going towards the same thing. So if you're kind of like on the fence about joining it, you just got to think like it's really opportunity cost, right? Because at the end of the day, you're thinking, okay, this is a big investment to buy the course, which it can be considered that. But really, it's like if you compare it to like something like a college in America, it's like a 20th of the cost, right? So it's like I was just kind of like, whatever, I'll join it. And the worst case scenario, like you just talk to like the team, talk to the building team, just talk with everyone. But like the EasyGrow team's very accommodating. They're not just like gonna be like, oh, this and that. Like they're not gonna like go off, and you can talk to everyone. Everyone's there to help you. Everyone wants you to win. So they don't really put you in a situation where you feel like very like I don't know, scared about it. When once you join, you kind of feel like a bit more secure.
yeah, I would definitely say just like go all in because you're gonna probably regret it for the rest of your life if you just like, dang, I could have been like, these kids right here, they're 18. I could have been like them making, 10 grand a month within 3 months, but I'm here 25 and now I'm working like my average job or in college or whatever. It's like you'll regret it for definitely the rest of your life. So definitely don't like, definitely go forward with it. And then you're gonna make the money back within 3 months easily. I mean, like we did. I mean, it's absolutely insane if you just put your head down and put in the work. So
Beautiful. Well, look, guys, is there anything else that you want to add to the conversation? Anything else that you want to share, or are you happy? Do you feel like that covers everything?
Yeah, I just want to add, I guess, that like the community is like the biggest thing I think, because like I want to mention this, like if you post to the community, like you literally get like a response within like 20 minutes every time. And it's like you post a question, you'll get like 4 different answers from 4 different perspectives, and people will link you to the video you need to go to, and like they're covering everything, right? So that's like the biggest thing for me is in these other like things I was in, I'd post, I wouldn't even feel like using the community because it felt like so useless. But in EasyGrow, like you post a question, a comment, or a statement, whatever it is, and everyone constantly like comes helps you. So when I joined, I could talk to people who like just got to like the 10 grand mark, or they're at 5 grand mark, and ask them for advice. And now that I'm there, people are asking me for advice. So it's kind of like there's like a chain of people, and kind of the people at the top is like helping the people below them, and then the people there are helping below them, and everyone kind of like comes down the temple or whatever. But basically, it's just kind of, it's really cool. Like I can help people below me, and people above me can help me, and it kind of like everyone really wants to see you win. It's not kind of like, it's not the like scarcity mindset of like I'm winning, I can't let anyone else know what I'm doing. Like everyone, like they find a new thing, it's instantly in the community like right away. So that's really important to me.
Yeah, definitely, definitely the coaching calls. I mean, if you have like any problem with anything, you can get it answered within 1 week. I mean, you have a sales coaching call, you have service delivery, you're on a call with the founders. Like, there's literally no way you can lose if you just join the calls, ask questions, do the course. It's like, I think that is just the most valuable, that I could go on a call and ask people that have already done it, that are way more successful than me, and just like ask them like, how'd you figure out this problem? And then it's like quick, they'll just tell me, and then I'll implement into my business and then get like instant results. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think to kind of just wrap things up, that's the whole point of doing this, right? Is being with experts. You, like you said, you had a conversation with Charlie for literally 2 minutes. Maybe it was a little bit longer, but the point is, when you're dealing with someone who has so much expertise in the problems you're facing, they can diagnose it immediately, and it just saves you so much time. And that is the reason why you're able to go from 0 to 10K in literally 90 days, because the speed that you are moving at, the knowledge that you are gaining is just so much more rapid. But look, gents, again, I am incredibly, incredibly proud of you. Obviously, the original goal was to get to 20K. So we'll see you get to that point. I know that we've moved the goalpost now to 50K. When you get to 50K, drop me another message and we will do another one of these. But
Yeah.
well done. Enjoy the travels, and I'm glad to hear that you won't be going to college, because I don't think
Yeah, me
a
as
good
well.
use of time. All right.
Yeah.
Well, look, gents, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again soon. All right.
See you,
Sounds
Jack.
great. You have a good one. See ya.
Bye.